Tony noticed that the gold jewelry his grandmother had bought was sticking to a magnet. He immediately realized that his grandmother had been cheated, and he went to the jewelry shop at once with his wife. As soon as he took out the jewelry, the employees assumed he had come to exchange it and asked for a 20% commission. Tony became angry and accused the shop of selling fake gold. The customers became alert, and the situation began to worsen. The employees said they were a well-known brand and that if they had sold fake gold, they would repay 1,000 times its value. They threatened to call the police to defame Tony. Tony was not afraid. He took a magnet out of his pocket, and as soon as he brought it near the jewelry, it stuck. The customers panicked and started showing their jewelry to Tony. When things began to slip out of control, one employee claimed that the gold was not from their shop. Tony showed the receipt, the bill, and the bank transfer slip, and demanded an answer. The customers also began demanding their money back. Just then, the manager arrived and called Tony a fraud, saying the documents were fake. Tony suggested conducting an official investigation. The manager replied that this still wouldn't prove the gold was from their shop and accused Tony of swapping the gold. At that moment, officials from a regulatory agency arrived. The manager welcomed them with a smile and said they were a national brand. Tony showed them the fake gold. The manager signaled Tony to stay calm and said he would refund the money. When Tony looked away, the manager asked an employee to submit the real gold jewelry for inspection. After the inspection, the manager said Tony would get his money back only if he fulfilled 5 conditions. The first was to prove that the jewelry had been bought by his grandmother. Tony's wife said neighbors could testify, but the manager demanded a DNA report. Tony said his grandmother had passed away. The manager then demanded proof that the gold had not been obtained illegally. Tony was filled with rage. Suddenly, 2 thieves burst into the shop and stole the real gold. While escaping, their bags fell during a collision. One thief ran off with Tony's bag, and Tony picked up the bag left behind. When he opened it, he was shocked. It was filled with gold bars. He called the manager. The manager said they had nothing to do with that bag. Tony took out his phone and started recording, asking the manager to repeat the same statement on camera. The manager refused, but ended up repeating the same words on camera. The next morning, the manager and employees came to Tony's house with gifts and sweet words, promising to take responsibility for the fake gold. They had realized that the thieves had run away with the wrong bag and wanted the gold back. Tony knew this. He opened the bag in front of everyone and revealed a sack full of gold bricks. The manager said the gold belonged to their shop and that they would refund Tony if he returned it. Tony's wife urged him not to fight anymore. Tony pretended to agree. As soon as the manager reached out his hand, Tony stopped him and said that to get the gold, they would have to prove that the shop's president and founder were blood relatives and also provide a DNA report. The manager turned red with anger. Tony smiled and said, "I just returned the same conditions you imposed on me."